Previously, on Keeping Up with the Kenya Kwanza government.
How is a demonstration ending up in rape, destruction of property, destruction of business? What is that?
The government is squarely responsible for either omission or commission. Na muache kupea Wakenya tu story mingi kila wakati.
Who should Kenyans trust? The government or the Nyoro camp?
Unajua wananiambia sijui nini, sijui Moi. Moi alikuwa rais wa Kenya. Vile Kibaki alikuwa rais wa Kenya. Vile Uhuru alikuwa rais wa Kenya. Na kabla ya Moi kulikuwa na Kenyatta. Na baada ya Moi kulikuwa na Kibaki. Na baada ya Kibaki kulikuwa na Uhuru. Hii kisirani ni ya nini? Hii fujo yote wananiletea. Mbona hawakuletea Kibaki? Mbona hawakuletea Uhuru? Hii madharau na kiburi ni ya nini? Hapana, hiyo mchezo tuache. Sio kama naelewana bwana.
And we also want to remind you that Mwai Kibaki had a difficult time from you, William Ruto. Videos are everywhere. You cannot say that Mwai Kibaki did not face resistance. It's on record that you gave hell to President Kenyatta for 5 years. So it is hypocritical for you to allege that Mwai Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta had a very easy time. Most of the problems Mwai Kibaki and Uhuru Kenyatta had came from yourself, and it's on record.
It has been a tense few hours since President William Ruto dramatically pointed the finger at his former deputy president Gashagua, accusing him of orchestrating the Saba nationwide protest, fueling chaos, and leaving behind a trail of destruction and multiple deaths.
It breaks my heart when people who have no plan for the young people of our nation take them to the streets, abuse them in the streets, misuse them in the streets, and we end up with mayhem, rape, destruction of property, destruction of businesses, because there are people who have no plan for the young people of our nation. They have no known or credible plan.
But now, Kiharu MP Ndindi Nyoro has entered the bandwagon, blowing the lead off what he calls the real story behind the protest.
I want to be very categorical. But even before that, on behalf of the people of Kiharu and the people of Kenya, we stand here to send our sincere condolences to the families of over 50 Kenyans who have lost their lives in the hands of government for the last 1 month alone.
According to Nyoro, the government itself should shoulder full responsibility for the unrest and mayhem that rocked Saba. In a fiery broadside, he accused the National Intelligence Service and the Ministry of Interior of sitting on their hands instead of acting swiftly to prevent the violence.
I have been observing the speeches and the demeanor of the people in government around this issue. Whatever happened on Monday, the government must bear all the responsibility for all the businesses burnt and all the lives lost. Na niko na maswali kidogo kwa watu ya serikali. Namba moja, was there intelligence that there was mayhem to be meted upon the people of Kenya? If there was no intelligence, I want to remind them, taxpayers in Kenya are giving government 50 billion Kenya shillings for intelligence gathering alone. And therefore, kama serikali haikujua kulikuwa na mambo kama hayo, then they have no business calling themselves government. Jambo la pili, kama mulijua intelligence ilionyesha, kwa nini mambo ilifika hapo? The government of Kenya spent over 200 billion Kenya shillings on internal security alone. Kama nimeondoa defense. If the government cannot protect the lives and the property of the people of Kenya, while we give them 200 billion Kenya shillings to do that work, then kazi yenu ni gani? Na jambo lingine, Jambo lingine, I have heard the governor of Kajiado confessing the people who meted mayhem in the towns in Kajiado County are not locals. The people of Nakuru, they are very eloquent on the fact that wale watu walichoma Nakuru sio watu wa Nakuru. Pale Kirinyaga, wale watu walifanya hizo jambo sio watu wa Kirinyaga. Hapa Murang'a tunajuana karibu sisi wote, hapa Murang'a town. Wale watu walifanya hizo maneno sio watu wa Murang'a. The government is squarely responsible for either omission or commission. Na muache kupea Wakenya tu story mingi kila wakati. We can see through the lies. We can see through, and we know for sure either the government was involved or it abetted those crimes and criminalities. Siku ya Monday ni serikali peke yake ilikuwa inalinda mabarabara zetu zote. Kama ni serikali ililinda mabarabara, wale walipita kuchoma mali ya watu, walipita wapi? Walipita wapi? And nataka kuuliza pia madugu zangu wale wanahudumia wa Kenya katika serikali. You may be learned, but the people of Kenya are equally learned. Juzi tumeona mtu mkubwa mmoja ya serikali ati anaenda kuangalia ile mambo imeharibika pale Nairobi. Na kwa sababu wamedunisha akili ya Wakenya sana, ati anaenda anasema hii supermarket imeibiwa na yeye mwenyewe akaweka IDs kama 50. Where did we ever see this? Going into a supermarket, wanachukua vitu katika supermarket, wanaziandikisha ati na wanaacha ID. Mumeona hiyo maneno anywhere?
Nyoro's sharp rebuke comes as the Ruto administration continues to paint Gashagua as the chief architect of the chaos, alleging that the former deputy president unleashed hired goons to destroy properties and infiltrate peaceful demonstrations.
Nataka niwaambie viongozi hawa wa kuishiwa hapa, kwa sababu wanazunguka hapa town. Kwanza niliona ati wanasema ati sasa hawatangojea 2027 ati tupige kura. Ati wanataka kupanga fujo. Ati wapange maandamano. Ati wachome mali ya watu. Ati walete maafa Kenya. Ati ndio wapindue serikali ya Kenya kabla ya 2027. Mimi nataka niwaambie wajaribu. Watajua hawajui. Wajaribu. Allah.
But Gashagua isn't taking it lying down. He has repeatedly claimed that it is, in fact, Ruto's inner circle pulling the strings, planting agents of chaos among protesters and working in tandem with rogue elements in the police to discredit the demonstrations.
Mr. President, nobody wants to throw you. Nobody wants to overthrow your government. Nobody wants you out of power through unconstitutional means. Mr. President, I and the people we work with are on record. We want to remove you from State House through the ballot in 2027. This narrative you are creating that there is an attempt to overthrow your government is for you to have the opportunity to use a terrorism act to profile communities and to persecute leaders who are opposed to your administration. Please relax. We want you to serve your one term. Nobody wants you out of government unconstitutionally. Nobody has any plan to overthrow your administration, Mr. President. We want to face you on the ballot in August 2027. So just relax and stop crying wolf that anybody wants you out of office unconstitutionally. There is no leader here who is planning a coup, and none has the capacity. And nobody is interested. The leaders in this country, and indeed 95% of the Kenyan population, want to humiliate you at the ballot. They will relish that moment. None of them would want you to go out through any other method, unless, of course, you decided to resign on your own volition. So please stop creating this narrative. This narrative is to enable you to use anti-terrorism law to persecute leaders and to persecute the Kikuyu community.
The most curious twist in this story is, despite President Ruto's bombastic claims that he knows Gachagua is behind the unrest, no direct action has been taken against him. Instead, Kenyans have watched a theater of political superiority unfold, with Gashagua's close allies are dragged into the police cells for allegedly acting as Gashagua's proxies, while the man himself walks free.
Nimepata information watu ya DCI wamepata communication from President Ruto ya kwamba governor wa Embu ameomba yeye amsaidie mjumbe wa Manyata Mukunji atafutiwe makosa ashitakiwe. Governor wa Nakuru ameomba asaidiwe kijana anaitwa Geoffrey Mwangi ambaye anataka kuwa governor wa Nakuru, pia ameitwa na DCI atafutiwe makosa. Huyu governor wa Nairobi pia wameomba Ruto wamsaidie huyu mjumbe wa Embakasi Central, huyu Mejadonga hapo hapa atafutiwe makosa.
I have no problem. If you want to come and arrest me at the airport, as you are threatening us, you can go ahead. I don't have a problem. You cannot sell fear to us. You know, even if you sold us fear, we cannot buy. You know, and therefore, as I'm out of the country, unless I'm stopped from going, and if I'm stopped from going, I'm still okay. I'll be here because this is my country.
Nyoro insists the entire narrative is a dangerous tool being wielded by the government to divide Kenyans along tribal lines. But if Ruto's plan was to fracture public opinion, Nyoro says it has already failed.
Some of the narratives being crafted are crafted using government machinery, using government resources, both human resources and monetary resources. Na pesa ya Wakenya hatutakubali itumike ati serikali yenyewe ndio inaleta narratives za kugawanya Wakenya. Kama mtu anataka watu wagawanyike, aende agawanye kwake, sio kwa Wakenya. Kenya will continue to remain a cohesive country. Na kama kuna kiongozi anaona they can only thrive by dividing Kenyans along lines of where they come from, tunataka kukuambia siasa hiyo ya upuzi ni siasa ya kitambo.
So as the blame game continues, ordinary Kenyans are left wondering who's really holding the match that set Saba ablaze, the Nyoro camp or Ruto's camp? Leave your thoughts on our comment section. That is it for now. Thanks for watching. Let's be next time. Bye-bye.